guys, I'm Laura Vitale. Now today, obviously, is going to be a very special episode. I'm here with my grandma in her home and it's fall time, so it's time to get to baking. And you know me in fall, I'm obsessed with apples, so today we're making her apple cake. She seems to be a little bit busy at the moment actually cutting up the apples, so I'm just going to let her be. Now, to make the recipe, you're going to need very few simple kind of everyday ingredients that you probably already have on hand, and you really can play with this recipe quite a bit. I mean, obviously you're going to need some flour and sugar, and then I've got some lemon zest, which you could use orange zest if you wanted to. This is just some Italian baking powder. You can use regular baking powder, eggs, butter. This is some liquor. You're going to need some milk, apples, and a pinch of salt and a little bit of vanilla. Now for the liquor, she's using half limoncello and half stega, but you can use any mixture of liquor you want, or you can completely omit it, but it gives this such amazing flavor, you have no idea. So we're gonna make this in a bowl with a spatula because she doesn't even have a handheld whisk. So it's very basic and very simple. Now the apples she's using these are golden delicious apples. You can use whatever apples you want. She mixes things around however she likes, so I'm not even gonna bother asking her. Now in this bowl, prima lo zucchero e il burro. I'm gonna cream together some butter. Some butter and some sugar. Now, if you follow me on Facebook, then you would have seen a picture of her and I actually making this cake. We made this cake a few days ago for a neighbor, and it was so delicious and yummy. I was like, oh, we definitely need to share this recipe with all of you because it smelled so good, first of all, and it was unbelievable. Obviously, we had a slice. Why not? So here we are sharing it with you, and it's kind of, it's very different than American apple cake, which I love, but, we're very used to using some, warm spices, cinnamon, pumpkin pie spice, which I love. They don't really use that here, so this is kind of like a real treat, it's very different, but you've got to try it. All I'm doing is kind of creaming it together, the sugar and the butter, just with a spatula, just until it's nicely combined. She's moving around, and obviously when we film our episodes and we're in the kitchen normally, I try to get everything to be sort of as neat as possible and just kind of stay all together, stay at the counter and do what I have to do. But I have learned in my 25 years of life, you do not tell this woman what to do. You just let her do what she has to do. She sprinkled in a little bit of flour in the apples. She does the same trick I do where she tosses it with flour so it doesn't sink to the bottom. So, allora, bene così? She wants me to cream this even more. Pinch of salt. Pinch of salt. And just continue to mix in just until you think, or until your grandma thinks it's creamy enough. Adding in some lemon zest. No, che se penso che pure ci mettessi una scorza d'arancia. Sarebbe buono, no? Sarebbe buono. If you put an orange zest in here, I think it would be really good too. L'uovo prima, no? Prima l'uovo e poi il latte.
Sì.
Smells so good already.
Okay.
4 eggs. I'm just going to continue to mix this until it's really, really together and like kind of combined and creamy and luscious and delicious. Milk. This batter smells so good already. And now the booze, which she is not at all afraid to use in her baking. And I totally understand if you want to omit it and you don't want to use liquor, don't. If you don't want to use alcohol, completely leave it out, but she always puts liquor in her desserts. And I think it's what makes them so undeniably delicious. And you won't get tipsy from it, I promise. It is good though. Vanilla. Give that a nice mix. She's so shy. She plays so shy, and she really isn't a very shy person in real life, but she's got a little bit shy today. Just going to add the flour a little bit at a time. Now just mix in all the flour as best as you can. It's very funny because, you know, I was taught, well, I taught myself, but you know, when it comes to baking, everything is so precise. Everything is sort of a science. And to an extent, it really is. And I think, to me, it's very much so a science. To her, I kid you not, she didn't measure anything that was laid out. She put stuff into plates, and I was like, wait a second. I actually need the amounts of everything. So then I had to go and measure everything. Otherwise, I would have no idea how to give you the recipe because she doesn't measure anything. She just does everything by look and feel. And I think there's something to be said about that. It's kind of like, it's really a talent to be able to tell and know what it needs more or less of. So that's the story with that. Now she's going to add in the leavening agent. See, this is going to make it rise and it just be gorgeously sort of puffed up. Yeah. Limit. Just fold in the apples. See. Now I'm going to take everything out of here because if I waste any, she'll have my head. Get every single little bit out. Make it as level as possible. This is going to go into a preheated oven at 350 Fahrenheit for about an hour. And then you want this to be completely cooled before you're pretty much ready to serve. Allora. The cake baked for 1 hour and she let it cool just about 20 minutes because she likes it nice and hot because it's more of like a pound cake, sort of coffee cake type thing. So she's dousing the top of it with, she's sprinkling it quite generously with confectioner's sugar, and it looks and smells divine. Mangio un pezzettino io, un pezzettino tu.
Se mangiati là.
Non è buono, no?
Non è di buono.
It's delicious. Definitely have the scent. Assaggia un po' pure tu. Yeah. Definitely has a scent of lemon. But it's so good. It's so simple. The apples are cooked, but not so mushy that you can't see them through. We hope you try this recipe. Let us know what you think. Salutano. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.